morning to my lecturer, Mr. Raghav, and to my fellow classmates. We are doing a Volkswagen case study, and I'm Jasmine, and I'll be explaining about the CEO part. Okay, basically the background of Volkswagen is that it's originated from German Wolfsburg in 1937, which means that it's been an existing company for 81 years. It's originated from Volkswagen Group, so basically Volkswagen is just a subsidiary of a brand, together with Audi, Bentley, and Lamborghini, and other brands. So the most serious case that they have is emission scandal in September 2015. Basically, they cheat the emission test. As we can see from the image here, they have like a computer that detects how much emission is released by the car, and just during the test itself, they release lower emission. And when the test is not activated, they release a very high amount of emission, and that is how they actually obtain a lot of lawsuits. The main focus of our report is that impact of the scandal in America, and also analysis of various departments in Volkswagen, such as the marketing, finance, and also provide appropriate recommendation. On our analysis on quarter 5 process and SWOT analysis, right? They are facing a lot of issues after the scandal, such as lawsuits, and also bad publicity, and also because of that. But then they are still going on strong because of their strong backup. So, but then even though they have a lot of strong backup, they're actually facing a lot of debts, and also low in profit, and also lower in market share. And they still have opportunities such as battery and driverless cars that is not yet being released in America, but is being released in other countries such as China for battery, but can be an opportunity in future in America. For the losses is standing in competitors in USA, Volkswagen is actually below Ford. Ford is the number 1 in America, followed by Toyota, Honda, and Nissan. So Volkswagen is actually lower than Asia brands such as Nissan and Honda. For the objective of our CEO is the long term is to reach financial sustainability by reaching a code ratio of 1.5 and produce car without emission issue in 10 years time. Medium term is to improve market share by 20% in 5 years time, and the short term is to reach a code ratio of 1 and increase inventory turnover by 5%. Our main strategy of the whole overall is Mintzberg 5P strategy, which is the two selected one are plan and pattern. In plan, we're doing a pull concept by working on a new car model that uses the release of emissions, such as the battery car in China, which is not yet released in America. And for the pattern, we're using a made in America appeal to show the Americans that we actually made our cars, even though we are from Germany, we actually made our cars in US. And also copying competitors to remain competitive. This is our organization structure. I'm the CEO, Jasmine, and my classmate will be coming later to explain, which is operation management, Wan Chen Seng, finance, Lee Xiang Long, and marketing, and Yongmeng, and also doing human resource.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the finance department part. So, as you can see, my name is Lee Xiang Long. Anyways, before I proceed with the situation analysis, there is a remark I want to say. There will be no data for 2017, though there are no reports so far. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about the liquidity ratio. I will be focusing on the quick ratio here because ever since the diesel crisis in 2015, it all started from here until 2016, there's a drop in terms of the current liabilities, which is why the current liability is higher than the current asset. So this will be the formula that I use to calculate all of the ratios. Now next, I'm going to talk about the liquidity and performance, the performance and inventory. So I'm going to focus more on the inventory turnover part because in 2015 onwards, as you can see, there's a negative result due to the cost of goods sold that shows negative result. So in other words, in 2016, they tried to improve the cost of goods sold, however, the result is still negative. So these are the formula I use for performance efficiency ratio correction. Sorry. The next one I'll be talking about is the leverage and debt ratio. So as you can see in 2015 and 2016, there is an increase of the total debt here, which is why this is caused due to the accounts payable side. So this will be the formula. Now, the goals and the objectives that the finance department will be focusing on is to improve the cash reserve by 5% and also to reduce the current liabilities by 8% in the next 5 years. And I'll be talking about my strategy part. This is one of the financial strategy. We'll be doing flexible budgeting, which is 1.24 billion. So, how we're going to distribute this 1.24 billion for each department? In the operation department side, I will provide 40% because he is required to achieve a short-term and long-term objective, which Sen will explain further in details. Human resource department 30% due to the training and development costs and reward system costs. In other words, is to improve the performance of the company. Marketing department 20% due to regaining the consumer trust by doing spending on mostly advertising and the promotion. Public relation will be part of his one of the sides, and others will be miscellaneous. So, anyways, for the action plan, these are my action plan. So the first one is to investigate the current liability because as I mentioned earlier in the liquidity ratio there, the current liability is higher than the current asset. So we are supposed to investigate which component was affected ever since the diesel crisis till now. So the second one is to investigate the accounts payable to find out that do we owe money to the creditors or not. That is will be completed 2019. Third will be to improve the inventory turnover because due to our negative result, the cost of goods sold, we decided to transfer prices inside the Volkswagen company. And lastly is to reduce the long-term goal. How do we reduce the long-term goal from the high debt earlier? We are going to do this repurchasing shares. So basically, how do we do the repurchasing shares? Is we will reduce the number of shares. And then once you reduce the number of shares, it is believed that it might have a high impact on the stock price due to the increase of demand in the stock in the market share. Sorry. So then I'm going to pass to Sam.
Hello guys, my name is Wan Chun Singh and I'll be talking about operation department. As for now, we can see here there's two productivity. One is capital productivity and the other one is labor productivity. It shows that only 2013 until 16, but then for the 17 one, there's no available in the annual report itself. As you can see, for this number, I don't think that you guys can see it clearly, but by showing this graph, it makes a difference. As for capital productivity, right, for 2015 itself, you can see from here going up, sloping down due to the scandal itself. As for the labor productivity, it's also the same. For 2013 till 15 is actually increasing, but then it's a declining stage on 16. So it's all about the scandal issue. So what I can see for my analysis is the annual report itself also stated out that there's wastage of management. So it's actually officially from the annual report. So by looking at it, I think that it is a very huge mistake that they are making it. And in order to overcome it, there will be two objectives that I have to prove to this report. As for my short term, I need efficiency towards lean production in 1 year time. As for long term, is to focus on lean production itself also to overcome the problem caused by 5 years time, reducing the wastage problem also. So what is my strategy is most likely will be lean production. As you can see, quality, speed, results is most important. As for cost, it also have to be decreasing so that it can meet the quality. As for it focuses on reducing wastage, it is the main thing, and ensuring quality, efficiency, and also reducing costs. It is what it is. this is just a strategy. There will be other action plans that I'll have to break it out. As for the first action plan is sales forecast from marketing department. As what I can see that marketing will be forecasting a lot of sales, so I can get from the forecast to actually predict what I'm gonna get for my stock, as it ensures the amount of materials and resources will be meet to prevent the stockpiling, and also improves capital productivity as well. And this is also lean production, as it ensures 100% of quality, which means that there will be something like quality assurance. Each person, they have their own self production, which means that they have all their own shelf. They have to meet their own requirement, only we can continue to the final product. And also it is very effective and efficient. As for this one is Kaizen. What Kaizen do is actually a spirit that comes out from most of the employees. This is actually, we are trying to get information from them by knowing where is the problem inside the production itself, so that we can get a stronger bond and eliminate wastage also, and also improve efficiency. So as for this one, for the suppliers, we need to have a really strong relationship in order to get a good quality of spare parts, and also ensure smooth and service. There's no delay on the time, if just so that the client wants to meet this date, and then they can ensure that the parts will be there. And also good condition for the final product. It is very important for the spare parts to be in good condition, so that we can get it for the final product to be good. So next I'll pass it to Jesslyn. Thank you.
Now I'll be presenting on human resource department. As you can see on the financial statement, annual report of the Volkswagen, this is the total employee that they have in the whole Volkswagen group, for Volkswagen all over the world. So as you can see, right, from 2012 up to 2016, the number of employees is actually increasing, but in US Volkswagen employees, the number of employees is actually decreasing. Since the scandal happens in US, that means they have to cut costs by cutting the number of employees in US. As in temporary staff, there is a very high increase in 2012 and decrease up until the scandal happens again, and then there's an increase of temporary staff in 2016. Here is the number of age group inside the Volkswagen employees. As you can see, majority of the employees is between the age of 30 to 39. Here the highest, followed by 40 to 49, and also 20 to 29. And for the level of qualification, most of the employees is actually focused on vocational education and training. And while the least is actually other, and second highest is actually higher education. From here you can see the analysis that Volkswagen is actually using hard HRM but to cut costs by focusing on performance and also temporary staff. This three is the objective for HRM. First is to reduce employee turnover and also increase employee performance by 5%. Second is to enforce a stricter policy and early retirement for older employees within 5 years. And for the long-term plan is to increase work efficiency and also retain skilled employees by 10% in the long run. For the solution, as we know that Volkswagen is already using hard HRM, we plan to continue their plan by using the same similar strategy. Second is performance appraisal. Performance appraisal, that means that we will be giving them incentive based on their performance. The third one is the incentive that I'm talking about will be called profit sharing incentive. The fourth will be recruitment from other departments. Recruitment with other departments, which means that, for example, we are recruiting for finance department. Finance employee, the manager, has to be involved in the recruitment process so that they can be able to explain to the recruiters and also the people that is interviewing what is the expectation and also the working environment for financial department, so that the people will know what is going on in the department, and also will be able to know whether they have the right skill to fit inside the department. The fifth is actually embudsman. Embudsman is actually a department in the company where they actually help to solve internal problems within like employer or employees with employees, and there's like a conflict of interest or any complaints at the department. This one is basically to ensure that employees are, being able to work together with each other happily. For the action plan, first one is further reliance on temporary staff. Because we are continue on doing hard HRM, we're going to continue on temporary staff for the next 1 to 2 years until that the company is stabilized. Then we'll do a stricter policy with the management by objective appraisal. This is the appraisal that we are going to use to actually appraise the people. Management by objective, which means that each of the employee, they will be able to actually talk to the manager, and manager will set an objective differently for each different employee. So as long as they manage to actually reach their objective that has been set by the manager, it's considered as them reaching their appraisal. This one, that means, is different for every employee, which is also fair for all employees, as each employee has been able to reach their own weakness, and also it promotes a continuous improvement. And the third one is stricter policy with internal whistleblowing. So basically, as we have the scandal issue, we want to prevent any further issue with this kind of scandal. So we promote internal whistleblowing. Basically, employees will be trained on the idea of internal whistleblowing. So we promote the idea of them actually say out their point of view, or if they found any information that might be damaging to the company or might be causing some problem for the company, the condition is that they have to seek the company first or their superior and explain about the problem before they are not allowed to actually bring out the information that is sensitive out to the public. This is to prevent the company, to allow the company to actually solve the problem before the problem is being heard by the public. For the last action plan would be the voluntary retirement scheme. As you can see from the previous data, they have a very high amount of people within the age of 50 to actually 60. It's like the second and the third highest employee in the company. So we plan to have the voluntary retirement scheme to actually let 55 years and all and above employees to actually being let go, because as you grow older, you work longer in the company and you hold higher position, your salary tend to be more expensive and you tend to get more benefits. So for the company to cut costs, we actually use this scheme to actually let them sort of like quit the job voluntarily. And there's two options that they can choose within these two. First one is the 35 days worth of salary per year based on the number of years he works for the company. So let's just say that the employee work for 20 years. 20 years, like 35 days worth of salary is roughly around 1 month-ish. 1 month-ish times number of years that the person worked in the company. On the other hand, this scheme is 60 months salary on the remaining service period. 60 months salary, basically all the salary that they work for. But this only applies if you have been working in Volkswagen for the past 30 years. Or the remaining service, whichever is lower, basically if like example, they have a contract to work in the company for another 5 years and they have to be let go early, then during the 5 years of the remaining period, they will be actually giving the remaining of the salary, and they don't have to work any longer.
Hi, my name is Ang Yong Ming. I represent marketing department to present Volkswagen. First of all, it's the strategy. Before the scandal, Volkswagen told those dealership about the shift to a more mass market strategy for the brand. After the scandal, Volkswagen strategy 2025 focused on the greener future. Next is about the target market. Before the scandal, Volkswagen is more targeting on young executives, businessmen, urban family. But after the scandal, the new freedom aimed at some new demographic groups, which are younger driver worldwide and also more in Chinese car buyer. As you guys can see from the slide, this is the new model of the new Freedom Volkswagen model. Before the scandal, Volkswagen is more focused on 4 core models, which is Volkswagen Golf, Passat, Jetta, and Tiguan. After the scandal, Volkswagen come up with a new Passat GT to US in 2019. After the emission scandal, Volkswagen on US comeback trial with all new Jetta. And also, Volkswagen will move from diesel car to electric car. Next is about the pricing strategy. Before the scandal, Volkswagen maintained as much as 10% pricing premium over competitor, and also lower 5% and less. Volkswagen and premium pricing strategy in US to compete with Japanese competitor, which is Toyota. After the scandal, Volkswagen is using market penetration pricing strategy. It is offer discount to customer, and Volkswagen dealer offer heavy discount and diesel crisis keeps user buyer away. Next, before the scandal, Volkswagen is using dealer website and third-party sites, which are autotrader.com and ebay.com. After the scandal, Volkswagen is more focused on 3S center, which is service, sales, and spare part department. It is located nationwide in Castle Hill. It will create customer confidence to our after sales service. Before the scandal, the promotion above the line, Volkswagen is using television advertisement, think small commercial advertise for Volkswagen people. Below the line, we'll more focus on social media, which are Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, help Volkswagen remain at the top of the promotional game. After the scandal, above the line, television advertisement then now awaits commercial advertisement after scandal for Volkswagen people in US. And below the line, Volkswagen offer promotion price reduction. It is offered 0% financing for certain car model. Before the scandal, there is 59790 employee work with Volkswagen America in 2014. But after the scandal, there is 58491 employee work with Volkswagen America in 2016. I set our objective to overcome the emission scandal problem. It is to increase 8% of sales by year 2019 and also improve the perception towards the company in US. Our strategy is after sales service, as I mentioned earlier, the 3S center, sales, service, and also spare part department. It is to offer a quality service to gain customer confidence to our after sales service. And also we offer a sales promotion to our employee, to our customer to attract more new customer. For our action plan, 1.2 million will be given from finance department and create a car show for Passat GT 2019 in order to achieve our objective, increase as 8% of sales by 2019. We are using marketing penetration pricing strategy, and customers are able to get a 15% discount during the car show when they purchase the new Passat GT. Trade center will be provided, and our assistant will be there to assist our customer the after sales service. And the television and social media advertising, we will advertise the then now always. The purpose of this strategy is to build a good reputation and gain back the customer trust after the emission scandal. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.
First question for the CEO. My question is, what are the different analysis tools that you use in your overall company analysis?
Just for the CEO part, right?
Yeah,
For the CEO part
for
will be
overall, yeah.
SWOT analysis and also quarter 5 losses.
Okay, why did you choose SWOT or 5 horses?
Because the scandal happens in America, right? So actually we wanna find out like what is the standing of Volkswagen after the scandal in America. So that's why we wanna analyze quarter 5 losses so that we can see what happened to his company among all the other brands in the US. And for the SWOT analysis to understand the situation of the company internally and
Okay.
externally.
Why did this team choose, besides your reason, did we all agree on 5 horses? To use 5 horses? Was there any consideration of other tools?
No.
No. You were all happy with 5 horses?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then my next question is, when you came up with your objective, your long term, your medium term, your short term objectives, just guide me through what is the process that you guys went through to come up with this long term, medium term, short term objective.
So basically for our short term, right, we actually come up with the objective to actually solve the problem that is more serious firsthand. Like for example, the lower market share, we want to increase more sales because we have a lot of debts, right? To pay the debts, we need the profit that we get from our sales. So basically, pushing the sales first and we get more profit so that we can use the money to actually continue with the business. And for the medium term and for the long term, the quick ratio, right, is actually to lower the debt of the company. So it's actually more to the sustainability of the company in the long term.
But the process, our discussion was accepted by all 4
Yeah, we have a
departments?
discussion
Yes.
because first our financial department will analyze all the finances and we actually made our our objective based on the financial situation of the company.
Alright. My next question is to finance.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned that current liability has dropped or increased.
Negative result.
No, your current
It's,
liability.
it has increased.
Current liability has increased.
Yes.
So one of your objectives is to investigate and reduce current liability.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Did any specific account created the current liability to actually increase?
That's why we are willing to investigate further.
Okay. Where did you get all the information regarding the finances? Besides the annual report, did you look at other media or other reports before you make up your decision?
I have also read through a few articles
Okay.
regarding about the things that might involve the current liabilities, but I have to require to do further research to double confirm it.
Okay, and then you came up with the figure of budget, flexible budget. Why do you choose flexible budget?
Okay, the reason why I chose flexible budget because first of all, as we discussed earlier, we thought of implementing zero budget from the start
Okay.
because of the incomplete data for the annual report for 2017, which was not published. So after a long discussion, I did notice that we can use the data in 2016, which is the actual production volume multiplied by the variable cost per unit to get the actual budget.
1.2 billion.
1.24.
1.2. But why did you split into 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%? What came up? What made you realize that? No, why is 40%, 30%? Why do you just split equally?
Okay, because as I mentioned, because I actually wanted to do something like we do some third year and quarterly analysis. Like every 3 months we evaluate like what's the progress, how much money have you used, and so forth. So from what I see based on everyone's action plan as I read through, I noticed that some of the costs for, let's say, for advertising, it does not require that much money compared to operation, because operation is the one that started all these diesel crises.
Okay. So that's the reason why operation go 40%.
That's why they require more money, yes. And the 10% of miscellaneous was there for backup, just in case if it's insufficient money.
Okay. Well, so my question is now coming to operation.
Yeah.
My first question with you is 40% of the budget is allocated to operation management.
Yeah.
Why do you think you need 50% of 1.24 billion?
By having that, actually, we are actually trying to have a better technology to keep up with the emission, to keep up with the what the competitor are doing. actually with this, right, we can actually come up with something like have to research on better emission parts to actually store in our car so that it will be way much better to avoid all those lawsuits.
So that's why you justify getting 40% of the finance budgets? Would that be a justification?
And there'll be a lot of stuff like all those suppliers that we are taking in.
Okay, you do mention that something about wastage management.
Yeah.
Okay, can you elaborate further what you meant by wastage management?
It means that actually all those processing of those production, right, they are actually causing a lot of wastage, which means that they are not actually using lean production. Before lean production, it was causing a lot of wastage. Maybe with lean production, it will have a better improvement.
Okay. Besides lean production, did your team consider any other operation strategy? Besides lean production, did you look at any other methods before you came up? We should go for lean production.
Yeah, we do actually found out that JIT just in time, that production doesn't suit us because it's way much outdated.
So lean production suits you. But how soon can you adopt lean production?
Due
How
to the
soon
fact
do you think?
due to the fact that I actually achieving the goals by using lean production.
Okay, now how soon you can start adapting?
How soon?
Yeah.
It takes a while because all of the employees are not capable of handling the lean production yet. So by using lean production, it takes a minimum of 2 years time. To be fair that you want it to be better, it will be 5 years time at max.
So can we say that which department? Can we say that all departments that now get involved in lean production, or it's just your department?
It's only my department.
Okay, but would you need the support of the other departments?
Yeah, we do need to. Just for the marketing one, they are actually giving us forecast sales so that we can prevent the stockpiling happen.
Okay.
This is actually a kind of wastage management.
My next question, you do mention that we have to maintain a good relationship with supplier.
Yeah.
How do you go and maintain a good relationship with supplier? So who are your suppliers and how do you go to maintain good relationship with them?
By having that, actually, US there's several suppliers that US have. In order to get a better relationship, right, it has to be sticking with only one. They will provide us a better deal of parts.
Okay. So would you say majority of suppliers for the US market is from US?
It's actually not from US. They're actually getting the spare parts from other overseas, such as like Indonesia, Thailand.
Okay.
Like
Are these outsourced contractors or they are still Volkswagen family members?
Depends on which part. Actually, there are some parts that is under Volkswagen. There are some part that is actually outsourcing.
Okay, okay, all right. Next question. Next question is for HR. Actually, you mentioned that in the US market, Volkswagen is reducing number of employees, and you said the reason why it goes is scandal will be the reason why they reduce number of employees. Can you elaborate further why scandal would cause number of employees reduction in the US?
So basically, after the scandal, right, the company facing a lot of issues such as low in profit, low in market share. Basically, the overall performance all went down. So in order to actually meet up with to make sure that the company can still sustain itself, they actually to cut costs on other areas such as employees, increasing number of temporary staff, something like that. Even though the actually overall Volkswagen Group is actually doing well in other parts of the country.
Parts of the world.
Like other parts of the world. Sorry.
Now, I have a question to all of you first before I go to marketing.
Yes.
This question is, okay, your corporate objective, you have set it in long term, medium term, short term, alright?
Yes.
Okay, now individually for each department, tell me which one of your objectives is linked to which corporate objective. Okay, so we start with yours.
Mine is linked towards the operation and the marketing for my objective.
No, how your finance objective, which one of you have a few objective, right?
Yeah, two.
Yeah, so
yes.
two objective, which one of the objective is linked to the corporate objective?
Cash reserve will be under marketing side, and one more will be the reduce the current liability. That will be under operation.
Now, I rephrase my question.
Sorry.
Okay. My question is, you have three groups of corporate objective, right? The overall objective that you have, which is long term, medium term, short term,
Okay.
represented by your CEO.
Okay.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that you based your individual objective based on that corporate objective, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I just wanted to see, tell me, what is your department's objective, which is linked to the corporate objective?
That will be the long term.
Okay, so which one of your objectives linked to that?
The improve the current ratio part.
Improve the current ratio part. So
Yes.
yours is very clear. Yours.
For my part, it's actually more towards the quick ratio, which means that if I reduce auto stuff, the quick ratio will quickly meet up the expectation.
Elaborate what you mean by reduce all those stuff.
I mean, reduce all those wastage.
Okay.
Reduce all those wastage, reduce stockpiling.
Okay.
By using lean production, will be more efficient and
Okay.
sustainable,
Sustainable.
so that it can meet the quick ratio for the expectation.
So that will be your medium term or long term goal?
For the quick ratio is under medium term.
Medium term goal. Okay. For HR objective?
For the HR, right, since the short-term goal is to actually increase sales, so for HR department, right, that's why we offer incentives such as the profit sharing and a lot of other management by objective is actually to increase the employee morale and also employee performance to actually be able to increase our sales up to the 1 year. For the long term, which is the quick ratio, to increase the quick ratio, right, we actually been cutting down, we try to cut down on the older employees and also cut down on a lot of other expenses such as employing more and temporary staff is to basically cut down on the expenses and put the money into other purposes such as devs and all the other departments that actually need it.
Okay.
For marketing part, right, for our CEO objectives is to increase market share for 20%. For my marketing department is increase 8% sales is my short-term objective. It is increase 8% sales by 2019.
Alright, my next question for the HR department. You mentioned about stricter policy for internal whistleblowing. Okay, can you elaborate how you plan to implement? What do you mean by stricter policies?
Stricter policy, basically, we know that each company, they do allow their employees to do whistleblowing, but before the news, like for example, the admission issue reach to the public, or before actually the sometimes issue, the company already knows that their engineering department is actually already cheating on the admission problem, but they choose to ignore it. So my idea of the stricter employees is that employees should be educated on the idea of like knowing what is right and what is wrong, and then the employees should be open. They should be encouraged to actually go to the superior or managers to actually mention about if they find any issue that they find unethical, to actually bring it to the company first, and the company should handle it. If they fail to handle it right, let's just say that the employee bring up to the public, it doesn't bring any bad issues to the employee. That employee it doesn't look like the employee is actually bringing bad publicity because the employee tried to help the company internally.
Okay.
So the limitation of that is that basically by letting the employees know what are the limitation, they are not allowed to make false complaint that is not true, or whether they bring the news instead of coming to the company first, they actually bring the information straight out of the company and bring back publicity. That is also result in direct termination of the employment.
Okay, follow-up question on that. Because they say if the issue on the emission came from the engineers, okay, I will understand. But what if the issue actually comes from the way talk? Because let's say if Volkswagen they found something wrong and they inform the superiors, superior is the one who actually directed them to behave or do such activity.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
how would your internal, your internal whistleblowing policy resolve that?
Because the internal whistleblower works as a company, if let's just say the CEO failed to actually report or they actually choose to go on with the thing, go on with the issue and not inform the whole company, right? He will actually be terminated from his position, and he won't get any, money to actually cover up the pension.
My next question to you again. You mentioned the VRS scheme options. Okay. Alright. First question is, when do you expect to start? 2, can finance really support this VRS scheme?
The VRS scheme, because I put it as medium term, which is within 5 years. So
Okay.
basically, each year we will actually fire each one like one by one. We don't want to fire
Fire?
like one, not fire. Sorry, it's like a scheme to let them voluntarily go. We don't want to let go so many people in one shot within 1 year or 2 years. That is too much, and we don't want to get like lawsuits like age discrimination and stuff like that. So basically, we will slowly actually see their performance first. Out of all the older employees, which one is actually needed by the company? Because some of the employees maybe their position is not as important, but they are still a long term and they still hold a high position. But then they can be replaced by someone else. That the company don't have to actually retain this employee. Then they will be let go.
VRS. Okay. Now, did finance say they can support this scheme?
The finance can support, but yeah, that's why it has to be year by year. It's not like one shot. So the money is not coming out in one shot. So let's just say the first year after the company pick up their sales and the company is stabilized, then they can continue the second year, third year, and the fourth year up until the fifth year.
So finance, can you support the scheme?
Yes, because remember the part where I mentioned in my budget that there's a miscellaneous 10% in case it's required to use as a backup. If let's say if she requires that money, yes, she may use that 10%. And that budget is only based on this year. So by next year, maybe the budget, if it improves, I might increase the budget further. So yes, it can be supported.
Okay. Marketing. Okay, you mentioned something about Chinese car buyers. Is it after trend 2016? Can you elaborate what you mean by Chinese car buyers?
So now China is open for their people to another country to buy something, right? And then they are more focused on Chinese car buyer because China is a very huge market for Volkswagen to enter into the country. They are more targeting on others place to give more opportunity there.
Okay. Coming back to the whole group, anyone can answer this. Your presentation, your research that you've done, were you focusing more on the world Volkswagen or US Volkswagen?
I would say US.
US, would all 3 members agree? US?
Basically, because we get all our information from the annual report, right? Annual report is very limited. So for this annual report, it's actually available as a Volkswagen Group all over the world. So our finance-wise is actually available in Volkswagen all over the world. It's not restricted to US. But for example, HR, that we can see the number of employees that are available in US. That one we can actually use US information. So whatever that we can get as a worldwide, we use a worldwide information. The one that we can use more directed, it will be more directed.
Okay. Next question to marketing again. You mentioned nationwide 3S. Okay. But then in your PowerPoint you mentioned one location.
That is the most biggest 3S center in US.
Okay. So what is your idea here? Are you trying to say you need to expand besides this one location, or you just want to highlight this is one of the biggest locations? Which is what we're trying to do there.
There is others location at Cleveland, Lakers, Los Angeles, and then that I mentioned in PowerPoint is that is the biggest 3S center is most biggest located in US.
Okay. My next question. How do you come up with the figure of 8% as a 2019 objective? For increase in sales of 8%, right? The
Yeah.
2019 objective increase sales
Actually,
8%.
it is linked with finance department,
Mhm.
the increase ratio,
The current liabilities.
current liability.
Alright.